Welcome to the Mooring Field Morning Report.
I'm Evan.
And I'm Joey.
And we're the Greenbirds. First up, we'll talk about news.
So the latest news in the mooring field is that our wonderful neighbors, Peter and Pernilla, are moving. We don't know where and we don't know when, but they've been great neighbors to have. When our boat's not working or when their boat's not working, we've given each other rides. They're my emergency contact at school because they know where to find our boat and they would know if something looks amiss. And they're moving. So anyway, they're having a going away party in a couple weeks. Next, our solar panel. We have a new solar panel replacing the one that fell off the boat a couple weeks ago. We don't know when, really we don't know when it fell off. I got back from a trip and it was at the bottom of the ocean. So we recovered it. We dove down there. It's like 15 feet or so. Got that one up to the surface. Everyone keeps asking us if we tested it to see if it worked. No, we didn't test it. It had been submerged for a while. So anyway, we had to get rid of that one, and Evan picked up a new one for us yesterday. So we'll get it installed shortly.
It'll be nice to have that extra power. We've been doing okay with 3, but having a 4th one, we won't have to worry about running the water maker or playing games on our laptops or anything like that.
Next, the Whaley. We've been renting our backup dinghy to a very nice 17-year-old who runs a small business selling ice cream off of the dinghy. He goes around to the other boats in the mooring field. And he messages us periodically to tell us what's wrong with the dinghy. And we know it has some issues, but there have been a lot lately. So the most recent one is that the throttle cables rusted through. So he was only able to idle around. And I guess he came out a little ways and then went back to the dock, fortunately. So that'll be a project. I think Evan's going to handle that one.
It should be a simple fix. Just buy 2 new throttle cables and replace them. What's annoying is I think we got these replaced less than a year ago. So I'm not sure if they replaced the steering cables or the throttle cables, but these throttle cables do not look less than a year old. So it doesn't matter. We'll fix them.
And our last 2 things, our last 2 news updates are boat projects that we've been doing. So our cables for the solar panels are just these typical red and black cables, and they've just been strewn about in the cockpit. And Evan got these nice white covers for them. They look great now. They're all covered up. They look much more sleek. And then lastly, the tow rail that I've been avoiding doing. I don't know why I've had such a mental block about finishing this tow rail, but I finally started sanding it down. In hindsight, I should have used different fairing compound because this stuff is very strong, but it's also extremely hard to sand. I should have just used the easiest to sand version for the whole project. Anyway, lesson learned. So I halfway sanded it. It doesn't look great, but I painted it white, and man, white top coat works miracles for aesthetics. And that's it for the news. Next up, Evan with sports.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate that news update. In the world of sports here on St. Thomas, we have the St. Thomas Archery Club has been going strong, and we have joined as one of its more recent members. It's a great fun activity for people of all ages and all skill levels and all experiences. You just show up, they give you a little safety training, and then you start shooting bows and arrows. It's a lot of fun. He tells you what you need to know, and it's good fun. I've gone maybe 3 times now. Joey's been a bit more than me, and Joey is progressing very quickly. She's getting all the different bells and whistles, attachments, sights, grips, everything for the bow, and she's shooting really well. I'm struggling to keep up, but I'm having fun along the journey. It's a good time. We have a little injury update. Had the little bowstring incident. Do you want to show the fans what happened?
Did. This is my bruise from the bowstring.
It's bad. This looks better than what it was a couple days ago when it happened, but
yeah, it hurt. I yelped when that happened, and the other person on the range was like, "Oh, do you want an arm guard, a shooting guard?" And I was like, "Well, no, because the fact that happened once means I did something wrong." So anyway, I fixed my technique after that. It's a little external rotation of your elbow, and then that doesn't happen. So hopefully this will prevent this from happening again.
Yeah, and I'll encourage her to use the safety equipment so this doesn't happen again, even if she doesn't externally rotate all the way. What else about St. Thomas sports?
What about pickleball?
Pickleball at the yacht club is going strong. We play a couple times a week. It's a great, fun group we have out there. It's usually pretty competitive. Everyone's about at a 4-0 plus level, and we get some really great games. They have a round-robin spreadsheet. They keep track of all the scores. I don't show up enough to get into the spreadsheet, but I'm hoping I could barge my way in, beat some people, and get a place in the spreadsheet. That's my goal.
Yeah. And recently, Frisbee kind of started picking back up. Evan was super bummed because there hadn't been a single Frisbee game in like probably 6 months or so. So I pushed super hard to get people to come out, and they played a game, and now the momentum's going. So how was it last week?
Exactly. It was great. It was wonderful. We had just 3-on-3 game, which was enough to play. And it was a blast. I mean, just fun to get out there and play. We definitely feel like we haven't played in 6 months. There's a lot of huffing and puffing and frequent water breaks. But it's a great, fun time to see all these people who I haven't seen in 6 months.
All right.
What else? In the world of esports, there's a Magic the Gathering Arena Open on this weekend, starting on Saturday. And if we compete and win 7 matches on Saturday, we get to play on Sunday, and if we win 7 matches on Sunday, we get to take home the prize of $2,000 real US dollars. That's exciting. That might be my entire weekend. Either I'll fix the dinghy or I'll just play games on my phone all day. We'll see how it goes.
And how about those Islanders?
Oh, the Islanders are doing very badly. I think it's finally a point in the season where we can say that we're out of it. The dream is dead. We're not going to make the playoffs, and we got to sell all of our assets, which we probably should have done years and years and years ago. But maybe this will be the time we finally realize it. That being said, I'm sure they're going to go on a 17-0 run and turn everything around. But who knows? For now, I say sell them all. We don't need them. Get the draft picks. Maybe next year, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, we'll be good. But this team is not it, so we have to change it up. Just my take.
LGI.
Let's go Islanders. Thanks, Joey. Thanks for the support. You might need to learn a bunch of new player names if we traded away all the...
Oh, the ones I know?
All the ones
JG
you know.
Pageau's and the...
Oh, he's gone.
Kyle
yeah.
Palmieri's.
Palmieri's gone, too. Yeah,
oh, no.
Sure.
Okay. I'll have to make some flashcards to remember the new people.
And back to Joey for the flora and fauna update.
This week's animal is the pearly-eyed thrasher. So, 2 things about the pearly-eyed thrasher. In the Virgin Islands, they are better known as thrushies. And also, they are kind of a nuisance because they eat all of the lovely fruit that grow on the trees here. So they'll eat the mangoes and the starfruit and gnips. So you have to get to your fruit before the thrushies do. That's your flora and fauna update. Now back to Evan with a weather and garden update.
Sure. So last night we had a big heavy rainfall. It woke us up from a dead sleep. We found a couple new leaks on the boat, which is always an exciting thing to figure out. Also, somebody, I don't know who it could have been, left open a hatch last night during all this rain. So when we woke up in the middle of the night, there was a good bit of water inside the boat. But it was probably the best hatch to leave open because it was the one that already leaks a lot anyway. So the water that came in was just a little bit more spread out instead of just the one leak. So it was okay. We got it cleaned up. Some of our shoes got a little bit wet, but that's okay. And this rain was really wonderful for our plants, which are doing very well. We have 3 different kale plants.
Wait, don't say our plants because this is all Evan. Evan's plants look fantastic. I'm so impressed. I am not a great gardener. I tried a hydroponic thing once. I've tried soil. I'm not good at it. These are totally Evan's plants, and they look amazing.
They're the family plants, and they're doing very well. Our first harvest could be coming up pretty soon. We'll be sure to keep you posted on the bountiful harvest, and we'll do a whole big kale festival for this first initial harvest. The plants are looking great. Fertilize them a lot. It rains a lot. So you see us dumping our Nalgene's into the plants. So every sip of water these things get, they love it, soak it up, and turn them into beautiful, delicious kale leaves.
Yeah. And how have the marine conditions been?
Marine conditions have calmed down a bit. It got really windy in the middle of the week, but now it's calming down. The wind seems to be shifting around a little bit. The Performance Race Week clinic they had going on at the yacht club, they always come back to the dock talking about the wind conditions. And beginning of the week, they looked like they were overwhelmed and shot out of a cannon and kind of frazzled by the wind because there was so much wind. I heard about some spinnakers breaking and boats not doing well in the heavy conditions. But towards the end of the week now, they're talking about the light, shifty conditions.
Little swell coming through.
They talked about the light, shifty conditions and the challenges that brings for the sailing races. So it's come down, the waves aren't too bad. It's a really beautiful time to be here in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
And that was your Mooring Field Morning Report. Greenbirds are signing off.